Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and by the title, you probably know what this is, and this is what if the USA formed an empire. This video is probably gonna not be edited just because I lost my fucking software. Yeah, so if you don't know, a lot of people on PC, the people that don't know how to edit like me probably use CapCut. But it's really easy on PC, and my videos aren't that well edited. So, um, until I get the money to afford a new editing software, this is just we're gonna have to deal with for now. Yeah. Let's get started to what they would do. Now, first off, they probably want to connect this, but they're gonna hold off on Canada real quick because although Canada's population is right on the U.S. border, it's like right here. They want to get more naval access. You know what they do? Oh, yeah, they declare war on the Caribbean. Now, normally, the U.S. would get a buff, which they are going to get a buff. And this is mostly because they're also going to get like really, really good luck. Because if they actually did this, they would get a lot of other countries intervening, and I just don't think that would just go well for them. So they have a luck boost as other than whatever their insane bonuses are, because last time when I did a Empire video. Also, please comment if you want Empire videos. Also, don't mind my voice; it's a little raspy. My nose is stuffed, so if you just hear my voice like sounding sick, I'm not like really really sick. I'm just not. My nose is just killing me. So yeah, let's Alright, so who's the U.S. going to invade now? Oh, well, it's Canada.
I don't know that.
What? Hello? I don't know what just went off in my background. That was very, very weird. I, don't know what that was. And I'm not going to go check. Oh my god. Alright, so, Canada's at war with the US, so this is gonna be so scary because this is going to be so hard to accomplish because we don't know, because we definitely don't know how this is gonna end totally. Yeah, American troops pushed to the border. They also push from Nain, cutting Canada and Halifax off. They kind of just push from whatever main areas that they have. Yes, it also would also cut Halifax off from this area. They'd also take the rest of Quebec that Quebec owns over here for some reason. I don't know why. They just own that part. The port of Halifax should be taken. At this point, the U.S. would have probably made some quests over here, and probably would have taken Ottawa. The U.S. also launches an invasion up into this area to take Vancouver, which they do. And that's just and right there is a lot of Canada's population. Like, I'm not surprised, like, we would probably just do, like, a area to connect Alaska and the mainland, but, like, what's the point? And, yeah, there's pockets of people, like, right here. Oh, these two groups met up, and that's basically all of Canada's population. Up around this lake, probably? People probably live there. Oh, well, looks like there's no more people. Like, Canada would kind of just fall from here. Like, the amount of things that would just be, oh, I'm so sorry, because I didn't know my thing was placed like that, so, and at this point, you can just see that America makes a, oh my god. At this point, Quebec kind of just rebels away. At this point, it's like there's just kind of no point. There's kind of no point. Newfoundland is taken. This little island is taken, and at this point, Canada's kind of cooked. They're just getting invaded from every single side. Oh. It's at this point that Canada just decides to surrender. And I think you can tell what's going to happen in this peace treaty. Because I don't have time to make complex borders, so we're just going to do simple borders. If America just doesn't annex the whole thing, which they probably will, because it's America and they're rich, so they don't have to worry about, like, cost. I mean, yeah, they have to worry about national debt, but who cares about national debt? We're America. This is America we're talking about. They probably don't care for shit. We're just gonna do the confiscation of Greenland, because Denmark at first didn't need to worry, because America just like was a little bit far away, right? Well, now they're right across the border in Canada, so Denmark's scared to get pressured into giving up Greenland. I don't care if y'all say in the comments that I'm wrong and that Denmark would never give up Greenland. I don't care. Alright? I don't care. I'll read the comments and I'll reply to you if, yeah, but genuinely I don't care, and that's not my problem. Alright, America's looking pretty big. And that's not the middle of my screen. Well, you're seeing some parts of my screen. Alright, bro. Technical difficulties here. Alright, technical difficulties. But yeah. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. Whoa, that's not supposed to happen. Yeah, you see this little thing? It's about to go away. Alright, so now we get to the point where we can see how big America is. Then we wonder, who are they going to attack? Oh. I think it was pretty obvious, but... Oh. Yeah, America decided that they wanted to take over they wanted to take over North America to become the United States of America. I think that's very obvious that they would do that, but... Yeah. They would launch invasions into the Yucatan, while also continuing their invasion into Central America, specifically into Guatemala, which they would do pretty nicely, but Guatemala would be able to hold out for a little bit. But American forces would be focusing on Mexico, on the main area of Mexico, invading from the Texan border, and claiming that there's communists in Mexico, which there might be. Might's an overstatement. But with these buffs and not a lot of power from Canada, they're able to do this. And at this point, we could just see that America is just moving. They're just moving through, taking as much as they can, and they're just trying to move around these mountains that are in the middle of Mexico, and they do something like this. After they do something like that, they eventually Guatemala falls. At this point, they weren't even really focusing on Guatemala, because why would they need to? They were kind of just focusing on Mexico. Oh, and Central America fell. So all the troops that were fighting here are now going over there. And these troops start to arrive, and Mexico starts getting bodied. Eventually, Mexico City is taken, and Mexico has literally just mountains, so they surrender. And let's see, though. Yeah, I think you could tell what I was going for here, but alright. Now, obviously, would modern day America be able to hold all this land? Probably not. They would probably collapse in the first 10 minutes of owning like all of this. Like maybe Canada they could hold on to, maybe Greenland, Mexico, and the Central America. As soon as they get this, they're collapsing. The first like 10 minutes, they're already gonna be revolutions. First 9 minutes, actually, maybe like 5 minutes of this glory, they would just collapse. Maybe after like a day or two of this, but yeah. So basically, America is now North America, but where they want to go now, they want to go to Africa because Africa has a bunch of resources, especially this one, and they're also looking for oil. So they're gonna go to Africa. They're gonna find oil. Might go to Venezuela as well. Might go back to the Middle East. Say, hey, you're gonna give us oil. Russia's now the second. Russia's now the second biggest country, with America definitely being first. They also probably want Iceland because good naval passage. Definitely want Greenland for good naval passages. Got back the Panama Canal, which is good. But oh, looks like they went to war with Venezuela. Atlantic is made around this like little bay area. I don't know what it's called. I'm not going to look it up right now because I don't have the time to. And they start going ham on Venezuela. What was that? Just going ham and doing whatever they want to Venezuela. Now Venezuela lost their coast. At this point, they would just start to collapse. Like their inflation is way too high. They're already kind of collapsing. At this point, America's just kind of doing things to the government and whatever pieces of democracy they can get their hands on. And oh my god! Eventually, this thing surrenders. And what is it going to be turned into? A puppet state, of course. Because America probably realizes that they can't hold on to this much longer, so they're just going to be like, hey, I have a plan. Let's just export all the oil from Venezuela and ship it to the U.S. Because oil, we need it. So, like, we just take all this, we move it here. And then once it's not useful, we carve it up. It's not useful anymore. But now it's time to go over to here and here. But what they really want is these countries right here. Now Liberia was already kind of an American colony. It's a really weird story. And so we're just gonna sink it into the ocean. And also, for this video, just because America is going to be invading the Middle East, we just got to get rid of a big problem that's here, and we're going to sink it into the ocean. Also with these guys. So, we're just going to sink this all into the ocean, and just have clear things. So now we have a new canal. Like, now you guys can make like a new canal, you know? Like now this could just be a new canal, and now Egypt will be a part of the Middle East, and now Egypt doesn't have to deal with this, and it's a win-win situation for Egypt. I mean, I don't think they would want like the people in the Middle East saying, "Hey, you're Egypt, you're all right." No, we're not sinking anyone to the ocean. But let's see what America does. Well, first off, they're gonna go after their de facto colony. And they're going to be like, hey, just join us. And they're like, okay, because I don't want to fight you, America. You're scary. And they're like, hey, Nigeria, you better join us. And Nigeria's like, no, we're not, because we're our own country. And America's like, no, you're not, and you're America. And Nigeria says no, so now Nigeria's fighting a war against America. American troops lend to Nigeria. and they take a bunch of stuff, but then the Nigerians start fighting back, and the Americans are like, "Hello, whoa, cool, dude, you're not supposed to do that." And then, but eventually, Nigeria loses its coast, and American troops just start to wipe through Nigeria. At this point, they surrender. But America has its eyes on one nation. This blob of a country has a lot of natural resources that they want. So they're like, hey, we're going to declare war on you. But, like, don't take it personally, alright? Just don't. And the Congo's like, what? But then America's like, well, we need entrance into there, right? So we're going to declare war on these two. We're going to declare war on these guys. We're going to get this entire area. In fact, we want these guys too. And after this is kind of just going to be the last colonies that America gets. Because, yeah. At this point, people in the world are like, hey, we don't like this. Like, this right here, we don't like it. Like, this isn't good. So eventually, the capitals of both the DRC and the Congo are taken, and they're like, alright, bro. We surrender. Kinda. Not really. Yeah, no, we're gonna keep on fighting. That's what they say. So then, obviously, but then Uganda steps up, and they're like, we don't like this. And Kenya's like, yeah, we don't either. And they're like, yeah, we don't like this either. And everyone around America, and everyone around this region kind of hates them right now. And these guys are scared for their lives. These guys just hate America. This guy's chill. This guy doesn't care. I know this guy hates him. This guy probably hates him. They're probably trying to figure out some propaganda against it, but they probably already have. And then America just forced them into surrender. And then you know what they do? They fully annex all of them. So now these African countries are not liking this. They have just a big superpower in the middle of Africa, and they're just in the heart of Africa. Like, DRC is just central. It's just central southern now, as it's like basically the heart of Africa, you know. And they're not liking this one bit. They're like, all right, we gotta make a plan to stop the US of A. Just to stop. We gotta make them stop. We gotta make like a peace treaty with them. We gotta like just tell them, hey, like stop it. But then they're like, wait, this is the US of America. They're not gonna do shit for us. And then they come up with an idea. They're like, hey, how about we just like ship you the free resources that we have in our, and we're good. Although we're gonna probably just have to ship them. Although we're gonna probably have to move it through your colony to your other colonies, that you're gonna have to ship to your other colonies, and you probably have to ship the Venezuelan oil to your colonies. But the U.S. is realizing this, and they're like, we can do that, because now at this point, Venezuelan resources are going to their colonies, and now they're going here. But now they're exporting these guys' resources around their colonies, and even to Venezuela. And they're just shipping them everywhere. Because at this point, there's probably attacks that are happening on American ships. And most of them are in this area right here. Because there's just this little thing that goes around. They're like, hey, what if we just like move it through here? But Cameroon's scared for their lives. So they don't want to deal with this. They're like, no. And America's like, well, we'll invade you if you do. And at this point, they don't even get a warning, and they just kind of... And now, this invasion isn't really for land gain. It's kind of just to, get what they need, like the resource out, like what they need through this. And it's going to be the longest war in the video, because the Americans aren't really taking anything. It's like it's gonna be happening. They're kind of just occupying this area, They're not gonna they're not taking a surrender. They're kind of just Yeah, so now that happens, and there's not going to be any surrender. It's kind of just going to be, there's no fighting. There's like just zero fighting at all. And these guys launched an invasion into American Nigeria. I thought I would never say that in my life, but here we are saying that. And they get pushed back really fast. They're like, you know, we're just going to keep some little pockets, and then we'll be set. But then America kicks them fully out. And now they're thinking of actually taking stuff. So they invade the north, and now they just stop invading entirely. Like, they just gave up invading. Like, they cut them into 3 pieces, and they just stopped invading people. So now we look to the Middle East, and of course the Middle East is kind of scared for their lives. America says, hey, if you don't give us the oil, we're going to invade you. And of course Saudi Arabia is going to deny this, so they get declared war on. And how is America going to... America decides to take a quick trip through Africa. Kind of just moving troops. And the only reason I'm coloring them blue is because none of them want to actually move troops. So now they're just moving troops. They're using a bunch of troops to kind of fight. And then they're gonna use these troops to take out a few countries, specifically South Sudan and Eritrea. Well, Djibouti, they don't really care about Djibouti. I don't know why they're even in this war. Djibouti just has military bases everywhere, and they could just attack and they could just destroy those military bases. So now there's just a bunch of troops in Eritrea, and Ethiopia's like, alright, fine, we'll just let you move troops through us. Of course, these guys all agree to the peace treaty. Totally not being forced to. And not so much of American troops landing in Saudi Arabia. Now, obviously, this is costing a lot of money and a lot of funding to do this, but honestly, I don't really know who's funding the U.S. It's probably just taxpayers' money. But now there's a bunch of American troops in Saudi Arabia, and oh, that's not good. And I'm not saying at all that Saudi Arabia is weak. It's just we're 22 minutes in recording, and I just want to get this done with. I gotta get this over with. So yeah, that happens, and in the peace treaty this happens, and now America's like, all right. Look, we have the 2 biggest oil reserves in the world that are being shipped to us around the Red Sea. And, they're like, hey, we need a solution. We're trying to deliver these, and there's a bunch of pirates that are on our boats. If we get past these, then we have to go the long route all the way around here and deliver these to them. Then, after that's done, we have to move these to here to avoid the pirating. Well, we're probably just moving our supplies over here, and we moved it to here. Then we send them to Venezuela, which exports it to us. So we need to find a way to fix this problem. And what other problem is better than going to invade? But we also need this to expand over here because we don't have any way. So we do so America decides to do the opposite, better option. First off, this happens, and that war goes pretty fast. Also, I'm pacing. I'm doing really fast. I'm sorry, guys. We're 24 minutes into recording, and yeah. So Tanzania is not happy. They are getting invaded by the ones they swore to destroy, and Kenya and Uganda are like, yeah, bro, you're on your own. Plus, Kenya's a good U.S. ally, and right now with their expansion, they do not want to get on their bad side, so they kind of just let this happen, although they hate it at the same time. So, back to Tanzania. So now there's a quick and easy route. To get... That was a quick route. Here to here. And you move these through here, and you can move it to Nigeria. Nigeria moves into here, and new, and boom. So that's the end of this empire. Tell me if you want to continue this with the part two. If we do a part two, we're gonna finish this war, and yeah. So that's it. Bye, bye, guys, and yeah, yeah. Bye, bye.